Our Game 2 preview, St. Louis Blues, Boston Bruins, Stanley Cup Final, and the big news heading into this game is Robert Thomas will not be in the lineup for the St. Louis Blues. This is a big loss for that third line. Even though Thomas only has 1 goal, 5 assists so far in the playoffs, he's been one of the Blues' better players at creating opportunities, and the kind of opportunities that the team is really based on, those cycle chances in the offensive zone. You take a look at some of his numbers. Per 60 minutes at even strength, offensive zone puck possession, he's number 1 on the team. He can control it in the O zone. You take a look at the scoring chances he's generated, specifically off the cycle, which is what St. Louis loves to do so much. He's right up there at the top of the team, and getting to those loose pucks as well, those loose puck recoveries in the offensive zone. He's a guy that can go in and dig those pucks out and create more offense for his teammates. Number 1 on the team in that area also. So this is a pretty big loss for the St. Louis Blues. Now going back to Game 1, despite the fact that St. Louis came out of the first period with a lead, they really didn't play that much better than the Boston Bruins. They only had 1 quality shot on net as we take a look at our shot quality board here from game number 1. The game as a whole, Boston completely dominated. They shut St. Louis down from this home plate area of the ice. 4 shots on net from the slot for the Blues. 2 of those came in the last 10 seconds. That shows you how dominant Boston's performance is, and things are going to have to be a whole lot different for the Blues if they want to even this series up at 1 game apiece. Let's go line by line now in that game number 1 loss for the St. Louis Blues. The top line was good. They scored both the goals. Expected goals for percentage while they were on the ice at even strength, they were right around 50%. You take a look at every other line. My gosh, this entire roster got crushed from the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th line. I'm specifically looking at the Bozak line and the Tarasenko and the O'Reilly line rather that have to be a lot better for St. Louis to be competitive in this game. What to watch for in game number 2, watch for the pace that the Bruins play at. People talked before this series began about how both these teams like to get the puck below the goal line to create offense. That's way more St. Louis than it is Boston. Boston has a quick transition game. They scored 2 goals in game 1 with that transition game, 1 on the power play, 1 at even strength. 19 rush goals in the playoffs for the Bruins, way more than anybody else. So watch them play with pace in game number 2 again. And what player to watch for? Marcus Johansen. He did not have a point in game number 1, but he was buzzing all night long. He was setting personal playoff highs in a number of key areas: offensive zone possession, scoring chances, passes into the slot as well, which is a key indicator for playmaking and generating assists also. So Marcus Johansen and that Charlie Coyle line specifically, I got my eye on them in game number 2.